Hey, what's up? What's up? It is Friday, September 6th, 2024. So let's get it popping. Let's get it moving. Okay, so I do want to say this. Hornet Store is opening today. Oh, by the way, let me just go back and say, if you need the agenda, get it. If you need the agenda, get it. Okay, cool. Hornet Store is opening today. Have them in stacks of 10. Also, make sure you have your name on them on the website somewhere. I have not had a chance to look at it, but they say that all the different things that are for sale are there. You can see the list of items available on the school website. So make sure to go check that out. Okay, cool. There is a quiz today, but for the people online, you don't have a quiz. Make sure to come in during lunch, or there might be a time where we might be able to take it in class, but it's going to be fairly busy next week because we're going to be, we've got 2 labs to complete. Yeah, we got 2 labs to complete next week. That's going to fill up most of the week. So you're probably going to have to come in during lunch, before school, or you can also schedule with me after school. Unfortunately, I'm going to be doing web for the next 5 sting sessions, so I will not have a sting session, but again, message me and let me know and we can figure it out. Totally cool. Okay, but anyway, the quiz time, usually I give a little bit of time to study, then 20 minutes in class. The quiz is only 10 questions. Literally, it should only take us maybe, I would say 10, but usually I give 20 minutes because usually there's about 12 to 15 questions, but I don't have that many questions this time. Usually once you're done with the quiz, remain silent. This is being empathetic and respectful of the other people to allow them the same quiet that you got when you were taking your quiz. Also, make sure that you work on any missing assignments for science. There is an assignment which is called the first trimester goals. Scan that, get that joker turned in, and then you can work on any missing assignments for your other classes. Or I ready, right? Like any of that stuff. Also, remember today's Friday, so you want to check all of your classes to make sure, like, okay, I got everything turned in and I'm good to go and clear for the weekend. All right, let's keep it pushing. So like I said, first trimester goals, that is due. I'm going to give everyone approximately 3 minutes in class to get that turned in because you should have already done it. If you have not, you can go down here, right, and do that. Also, if you're like, oh my gosh, go back a few lessons ago because we did this last, I think like about a week ago. I think we did it like last Thursday or Friday. So go back to the video lesson from Thursday or Friday last week and you will see me walk through the video, okay? So there you go, there you go. If not, you have all the instructions here. Not a big deal. I will say this. It is highlighted that says leave a comment on this assignment letting me know how it is going with your goals after the first 3 weeks of school. So if you don't leave that comment, then you didn't complete the assignment. Just letting it be known. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right, so this is kind of where we ended off, and I'm not going to go over this again. If you're like, yo, I didn't complete it, like if you were in class yesterday, go watch yesterday's video, okay? So we're not going to repeat that, but this is kind of where we ended off talking about a system. Okay, as un sistema, which is, and then we did part 1 and we talked about the game as a system and all of those things and all the parts of the game, and then where's the boundary of the game, and that remember that a system, right, is a whole bunch of different parts and they all do something different, right, but they make up one system. Okay, cool. So now let's look at another system. Okay, cool. So here is another system. So this is a picture of a system, and again, it is a car that it looks like it's on a ramp. Okay, so then what I want you to do is just take a few minutes, and this should be on page number 14. So this is part 2. If you look at it, it is part 2 of what is a system. So here's the questions. Pause, look at these pictures, and then answer those questions based on these pictures below. Again, pause the screen. All right, cool. This is our system, right? This is the one that's in the picture. We got a ramp, right? Look, yours look like a triangle, but we got a ramp and we've got a car, and the car is on the ramp, right? So let's just take a look at what happens. Let's just let the system do what it do. Okay, cool. So again, let's just let the system do what it does. All right, now let's go through and answer these questions, okay? Cool. So what are the parts of this system? So we have the car and we also have the ramp. So there's really a car and a ramp. The only other thing that you're going to need, right, is how did the car get on the ramp, right? So how did the car get on the ramp? And hopefully you're saying whether it's a toy car like the one Mr. Farr just showed you, or a real car, or a remote control car, there's gotta be a driver, right? There's gotta be some sort of person who is actually driving this thing, okay? So hopefully you're like, yeah, there's a driver of some sort, right? Like somewhere, some sort, there is a driver, okay? And then let me see if I can get this thing moving the way it's supposed to move. Oh! It says the touch is off. Okay, now the touch is back on. Bam. So then let's go ahead and put that pin in there, right? Bam. And then we can say the car. Then we can say the ramp. Then we could say, I'm going to say driver, because there's some sort of driver who's getting that up there, right? And then what is the boundary of this system? Well, the boundary of this system is probably the end of the ramp. So I'm going to say end of ramp. Hopefully you said something like that. Okay, when the system is working, what happens? The car does what? The car goes down the, by the way, sorry that this is a little bit sloppy. It's because this Google Pen, you can't make it any thinner. The car goes down the ramp. For the system to work, how is input of force introduced? Now, this is where we go back to the driver, right? So, driver gets car, because I don't know exactly what kind of car that is, gets car to where? The top of the ramp. So that's what happens. The driver's got to get the car to the top of the ramp. Identify at least two parts of the system that must interact with each other if the system is to function. So describe how they interact, and we would say like this, right? I'm going to say car and ramp. I'm going to say those two must interact. And how do they interact? The car goes down the ramp. I'm going to say due to gravity. All right, cool. Now, can a part be removed and the system still function? I'm going to say, because this is a simple system, I'm going to say the answer is no. A part can not be removed. And the reason I'm going to say that is because the simpler a system is, the more important each part is. The bigger a system is, then there might be parts that might be able to be removed. Like the teeth are part of the digestive system, but if you have a liquid, right, do you actually need the teeth? No, right? Gotta stay hydrated. So there are some parts of the system that maybe might be able to be removed. But the simpler a system is, then there's less what we call redundancy. So things that do kind of the same or similar function. Does that make sense? In this case, this is a simple system. It only really has 1, 2, and 3 parts. So the simpler a system is, then the more likely you actually are going to need every part of that system. Okay, cool. So let's keep it pushing. Where's my thing at? I don't know where it went. Let's see. Bam. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this pen off, turn that off. And I think we are actually close to the end of this part right here. Okay, bam. Bam, bam. Okay, so have your journal out, and then in your journal, please write this. So you're just writing the definition of a system, a group of related parts that make up a whole, and we talked about this yesterday. A whole system can do things that the individual parts within the system cannot do, right? So that's just saying, like, this car, if I just set it down, right? If I just set it down, like right here, let me see where I can see it, right here, without the ramp, it's not moving. Does that make sense? So the ramp is what allows it to have gravity be applied to it and push it down. So again, without the ramp, now this car just stays here. Also, without the driver, this car can't get to the top of the ramp. So again, each individual part cannot do what the overall system is able to do. So get this in your journal, and I believe this, I hope this is the last note. I believe this is the last note.